Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Najib Binti Fauzi. Today I will be presenting about a study on the relationship between housing location, transportation and housing affordability in the Klang Valley. The presentation focuses on the analysis result and explain how the finding address the three objectives of the study, particularly in relation to housing affordability in the Klang Valley. The objective of this study are first to define the key factors influencing residential location choice and housing affordability. Second, to determine the relationship between housing location factors and housing affordability. Third, to analyze the impact of location-related factors including transportation and accessibility on housing affordability in the Klang Valley. Next, variable discussion. Housing affordability in the dependent variable in this study. The independent variable include residential location, transportation factors, and accessibility, which collectively influence affordability outcome. Questionnaire design. The questionnaire consists of 3 sections covering demographic, housing, and transportation characteristics, and perception on housing location and affordability using a Likert scale. Alright, so next, sampling technique. This slide explains the sampling technique used in this study. The target population in residents in the Klang Valley, which has an estimate population of 8.8 million people. The Klang Valley was selected because it is a highly urbanized area with active housing and transportation development. This study used convenience sampling as it is suitable for a pilot study. The questionnaire was distributed online through the Klang Valley Property Facebook group. A total of 30 respondents participated in this pilot study to test the questionnaire before a full-scale study. Then, data collection process and method of analysis. Data were collected using an online questionnaire over a 1-week period and analyzed using SPSS through descriptive and reliability analysis. Next, to continue the analyzed finding. For the part A, define the key demographic factors influencing housing affordability in line with Objective 1. In terms of gender, 53.3% of respondents were male and 46.7% were female. This balanced distribution indicates that housing affordability perceptions are not significantly influenced by gender bias. Regarding age, 50% of respondents were between 30 and 39 years old, while 33.3% were below 29 years old. This shows economically active group who are directly involved in employment, commuting, and housing decision making. For marital status, 56.7% of respondents were married and 43.3% were single. Married households typically have higher housing and financial commitment, making them more sensitive to affordability pressures. In terms of monthly household income, 56.7% of respondents belong to the B40 group, while 43.3% were from the M40 group. This clearly indicates that the majority of respondents are from income group most affected by rising housing and living costs. Regarding current living area, 36.7% of respondents live in Hulu Langat, 23.3% in Gombak, 20% in Petali, 30.3% in Kuala Lumpur, and 6.7% in Sepang. This distribution suggests that respondents tend to reside in relatively more affordable suburban areas rather than central urban location. Lastly, for employment types, 56.7% work in the private sector, 23.3% government employment, and 20% were self-employed. Private sector employment often involves income uncertainty, which can influence housing affordability and location choices. Overall, this finding clearly define income level, employment types, and household structure as key factors influencing housing affordability, fulfilling Objective 1. Next, part B. Examine the relationship between housing location, transportation, and housing affordability addressing Objective 2. Regarding types of housing, 48.3% of respondents live in flats or apartments, 41.4% in terrace house, and 10.3% in condominium. This indicates that affordability strongly influences housing type selection. In terms of household composition, 36.7% live in nuclear families, 26.7% in couple household, 23.3% in share housing, and 30.3% live alone. Family households generally require larger housing, increasing financial pressure. For housing status, 63.3% of respondents were renters, 26.7% were owner-occupied, and 10% live with family. This clearly indicates that home ownership remains difficult to achieve due to affordability constraints. Regarding primary mode of transportation, 40% use cars, 33.3% use motorcycle, 23.3% use public transportation, and 3.3% rely on e-hailing service. High reliance on private vehicles suggests higher transportation expenditure. In terms of average monthly transportation expenditure, 40% spend below RM200, 40% spend RM200 to 499, and 20% spend more than 500. This shows that transportation costs form a significant portion of household expenditure. And the last one is regarding distance from residence to user activity location. 43.3% live 5 to 10 km away, 33.3% live 11 to 20 km, and 16.7% live below 5 km, and 6.7% live more than 20 km. Longer commuting distance increase transportation costs and further affect affordability. Collectively, this finding confirm a strong relationship between housing location, transportation factors, and housing affordability fulfilling objective 2. For the part 3, analyze respondent perception and directly addresses objective 3. For access to public transportation, 56.7% strongly agree, 36.7% agree, and 6.7% were neutral that it strongly influences housing location choice. This shows that accessibility is a key determinant in residential decision making. Regarding transportation costs, 46.7% agree and 33.3% strongly agree that high transportation costs reduce their ability to afford suitable housing, while 20% were neutral. This indicates that transportation expenditures significantly constrain household finance. For housing costs in accessible areas, 53.3% agree, 33.3% strongly agree, and 30.3% were neutral that housing costs are higher in areas with better access to amenities and public transportation. This reflects the trade-off between accessibility and affordability. Regarding income level, 46.7% agree, 43.3% strongly agree. Then this is affect housing location choice. This confirms income as a critical factor influencing affordability. Finally, for housing affordability perception, 56.3% strongly agree, 80.8% agree, and then 50.6% were neutral. It is in the Klang Valley is becoming less affordable for people in their income group. This highlights strong concern about worsening affordability condition. And next, the descriptive statistics show height mean value for all variables. The highest mean score was recorded for access to public transportation, mean 4.83, followed by transportation cost, mean 4.70, and income level 4.67. The result further confirmed the strong influence of accessibility, transportation, and income on housing affordability. Their reliability result Cronbach Alpha. Reliability analysis produced a Cronbach Alpha value of 0.536 for section C. For the conclusion, this pilot study successfully fulfilled our three objectives. Housing affordability in the Klang Valley is strongly influenced by income level, residential location, transportation costs, and accessibility. Integrated housing and transportation planning is essential to improve affordability outcome. So that's all from me. Thank you.